Hello, everybody. Look who's back. Look who's back. Look who's back. Am I on your other side?
No, you're right. You're pointing correctly.
You weren't. You were pointing away from me.
Oh, really? 'Cause on my side, I'm pointing to you. Okay, so that side.
Yeah, I'm on. I'm on
You know
this
what? From
side of
now
you.
on, I'm just going to go like this.
We're somewhere around there.
That's it.
Hey, everybody. Good to be back after a couple-week break.
Yep.
Yep. What we got in the chat tonight? We got Viddy was the first one in here tonight from West Shore Harveys. You
Biddy?
need a detector, gear, anything, check out West Shore Hobbies. He's got the good stuff there. We got Mark Tuba.
That
All right.
weirdo.
Yeah, that weirdo. We got Sam, the metal detectorist, Patrick Parker. Who else we got in there? Yody's Finds, Tom Kingery, 5 Mile. I know it's been a couple. Whenever it's been a couple weeks, I think in the summer it was like 3 or 4 weeks that we didn't stream. People forget where to go at 7:30, but they'll be here.
Yeah.
We got a new channel here, Metal Detectorist. I did kind of look at your
Hello.
channel. Brand new channel. She does have some videos up there. Look like shorts.
Cool. I'm
So
about to
she may
check
be
her out after the stream.
yeah.
Diana.
Just a suggestion, because as you can see, we do check you out. Put on your about info on your channel because you are brand new. Joined about a little over a month ago. That's awesome.
Cool.
Put some about you in your about section. That'll help people and that'll help your channel grow too.
Yeah, you don't have
So
to write an essay. Just
no,
something brief, short, and to the
my
point.
name is and whatever you want to go by, or you don't even have to
Yep.
do that. Just say I'm a detectorist from Washington State. I love to find blah blah blah. Just put that in there.
That's
Oh,
it.
you want to say on TikTok? Created back up in case it went down. You could
TikTok. Yep.
even bring your TikToks over to YouTube, but yeah, definitely start.
They're
Just
on
put
there.
whatever little bit of info you have on TikTok, which is less than what you're allowed on YouTube. That'll help you out, and we love to have you here. Welcome to YouTube side of things. Hey,
Yep. Lazy House.
Adirondack Detecting, what's up? Tracy's Treasures.
Hello,
Haven't
hello,
seen you
all.
in a minute. Hope to see you
Yeah.
in a couple weeks. Speaking of,
Oh, yeah.
uh, I would just have to update everybody. Yeah, my arm is still attached to my body, so that's good. This surgery wasn't nearly as bad as the right
Hmm.
side was. So, oh yeah, well, most of you all over blue, so you can go check out Metal Protectorist. Tim and Kathy's here.
Hey, T and K.
So that's just a real quick update. My shoulder is still attached to my body. They didn't remove it. The surgery was much easier on me than the right shoulder was. This was basically a reconstruction that I couldn't even move the first month. Then this one, not as bad. I only had to wear the brace for two weeks or so. Started physical therapy the day after. That wasn't pleasant, but hey, Diana, crazy about a Mercury.
Thanks, 5 Mile.
Diana got shots on her back today, so she's just laying around watching the boob tube. So feel better. Hey, JVP.
So, Diane,
All
you're
right,
watching
so
porn? Is Diana watching porn? She said boob tube. I'm not.
all right, we got your name here tonight. Mark the Senile Detectorist just made it in.
We're
Bud
all here.
Cow here.
Hey,
All
Colleen.
right. Good to see you all. I
Bud.
don't really want to keep Robert in the background too long. That's just mean to you guys because otherwise you have to hear about me and Mark. And I don't know.
Yeah,
Are
you
you
hear about us
interesting or
all week.
anything? Huh?
What's that?
I
I didn't
said,
hear you,
you.
Rachel. What?
I said, are you interesting or anything? Because I know I'm not. So
No.
No. So
Well, that's when
no.
I host my Friday show. I only get like 10 people in there. That's how boring I am. Hey, Wayno.
Oh, I forgot this week. Hey, Wayne, Metal Sharks is here. All right, so let's bring up Robert.
Here he comes.
Here he is. Boom.
There I am.
There he is.
There he is. Hello, Michael Farley.
Mike.
You got a
No
busy
problem, Michael.
Wayne's been a member for 12 months. Thank you,
Damn.
Wayne. He also gave the first of the goal on Super Chats tonight. I'm not telling you guys what to do, but this is the V nickel that's written there. We don't make it up, but can't really see it because this light's not that great. But Colleen's here and Stacia.
Oh, Stacia.
Yeah.
Stacy.
See, lots of our friends.
Everybody. So those of you who don't know, this is Robert Thiesen.
Yeah.
He runs an event called Come Out Swinging.
It's a little event. Probably never heard of it.
Yeah, just a little one. Just the teeny whiny one, which is a fundraiser for the Boyertown Historical Society. It's in Pennsylvania. There's a few people that are here tonight that I've actually been to his event. One of those just Mark myself. I didn't go to the last couple, I think.
Ray's been there.
Tracy's Treasures.
Tracy has been there. Obviously, the Lynch.
Team Lynch has been there.
The regulars.
I would have been a regular, but
Biddy has made a guest appearance, I believe, once.
Yeah, I think it was the last one I went to.
There as a vendor. So
JPP. Hey, Adirondack, hopefully you will make it there. It's a good event. I did enjoy myself when I was there.
There you go. It's a testimonial.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good event. I had a good time every time I went.
Well, we appreciate that. We try to make it fun for everyone, and nice, easy, relaxed community of people who enjoy sharing time together.
Yeah, definitely.
It's very it's like a big family.
It does. You get the people that go regularly. Like I would have been regular, but I missed a couple.
Yeah, you had a broken wing. It's hard to fly.
Huh?
I said you had a broken wing. It's hard to fly.
Yeah. And then it was not an easy decision to not attend it. But I think I didn't attend the last fall one, and then I didn't attend the spring one last year. So I will be hanging out at this one.
Yeah, so for no other reason, come and hang out with Ray.
There you go. and you guys are
plenty of donuts and Ray. So there you go.
Yeah, and are the Pepperidge Farm people coming?
There will be Pepperidge Farm.
And if I win the Pepperidge Farm basket again, we'll find out.
Milano cookies in addition to donuts and goldfish. So lots of Pepperidge Farm products.
Listen, I always end up taking a lot of Milanos home with me.
Yes, and anything that doesn't leave, we always take over to the ambulance. So they're always happy to get loaded up with Milanos and goldfish.
Alaskan Assassin Adventures. What's up?
Hey, Alaskan.
So if you guys are making a trip out east, or if you live out here in the east, it's in kind of like eastern central PA. For me, it's me and the Lynches basically. It's about 2.5 hour drive west for us.
We have I believe 2 or 3 people coming from Washington State this year.
Oof.
Wow.
Yeah.
They drive or flying, Rob? Hopefully flying.
They started walking last spring.
They're probably halfway here already.
They're doing Detect America. They're working their way across the country.
Hey, it's only a good plan.
That's what I always say about the events that are on the West Coast. There's a few I wouldn't mind. I mean, there's not many over there.
That'll be my retirement goal. I'm gonna be the Forrest Gump of detectorists, and I'm just gonna detect my way across the country.
There you go.
Nice, Metal Bree. She's gonna be one of them.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
So are you walking right now, Bree? Whereabouts are you at, according to Rob?
Yeah. Be in Ohio right now.
Well, you're making damn good time.
Just as a side note, before we start, sending questions in, I didn't check the Facebook post on Come Out Swinging page. I said, if you have any questions, you can't make it tonight, to put some questions in the chat. I mean, comment on the post.
Oh, yeah.
Busy digging Brian. Howdy.
Yeah, I think
there's some people in here I've never seen before. Awesome.
Well, this is what we hope, right? We hope that people who are like, come into the Come Out Swinging event, they see the post that we're going to be talking about the event, or if they're interested in the event, and they jump on these shows and help you guys out, because you're always so instrumental in helping us out and make sure the event gets sold out. So we definitely appreciate that. And if this is, something small we can do and introduce some new people to your program, that would be awesome.
We do have a question. Hey, Workmans.
What are the dates? Yeah. April 5th and 6th.
Nice.
So first Saturday and Sunday of April every year for the last 4 years now is when we've hosted the event.
Lost boys.
And it is basically a full 2-day event. It's like a day and 3/4. We do 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday, and then 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sunday. And, the reason we don't, kind of keep it officially longer on Sunday afternoon is, we have a tent that we rent for the event. And if we get it back by the end of the day on Sunday, we don't have to pay for Monday. So
nice.
You're such a poet. We have a tent we rent for the event.
Sunday, Monday.
Yep, Sunday and Monday. So cool. It's those little things, right? It's just another like $150 or whatever it is, like that goes to the society instead of
right,
going somewhere else, and that's what the event's all about, right? So I always start off by telling people it's 100% a fundraiser. Everything that the Historical Society does is done by volunteers. Nobody's getting paid for any of the work that we do. So if we cover all of our costs, and then once all the costs are covered, everything else goes directly to the Historical Society. So we've been able to help them with a lot of projects over the past, for this will beginning of the 5th year now. And I mean, it all started with, many people have heard me tell this story, putting a roof on the Historical Society.
Right.
Leaky roof in the museum was getting wet, and we helped raise funds for that. And then there was a 1700s mill that was put up on the market, or was going to go up on the market, and we wanted to save that property. It's in our community, so we helped raise funds for that, and we eventually purchased that mill, and now the society owns that. And now we're basically redoing the museum. So the museum's been gutted. It's kind of what it was before, and it's all new flooring, all new ceilings, all new lighting, all new electricity. Everything's getting painted, and then we're going to start putting in new display cases, and then start like really highlighting. One of the goals was, we did it at a very low level, but really start highlighting the work that the archaeology team does, the work that the detecting team does from a relic recovery perspective, and we'll have our own showcases in there. So whether it's stuff that we find at our events or stuff that we recover from our fundraising events, we'll put those on display. And if somebody wants to loan those things that they find to the museum, like I think somebody might have found like a GW button at one of our events, like we would have loved that on display, and then
like the last fall event.
Last spring, right? Last spring, yeah. So
I know it was the first one I missed.
Oh, am I still on? I think I.
Yeah, you're still on.
Hold on, let me see. I lost power.
Yeah, you're all dark. You're in witness protection, Rob.
Yeah, how about that? Let me say we're rebooting here real quick.
Hey, Donna.
That the computer, like everything went black, but the computer went.
You're still on, yeah.
And Texas Donna, Patty D. DD.
Yep, that's Patty right. It's 110% fun, Vinny.
Yeah, you guys, if you have questions about this event, or being he is an event organizer, even if you have those types of questions, feel free to ask. Here's another awesome person right there.
Heritage Valley.
Oh, Heritage Relic.
You talking about Heritage? That guy.
I heard he's a troublemaker.
He is, but he's the best kind of troublemaker. He's the troublemaker you want on your side.
Mike, it's in way over east of Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, about an hour south of Allentown. About an hour west of Philly and an hour south of Allentown in the Boyertown area.
And only about 8 hours from Pittsburgh. It's nothing.
Only about 8 hours from Pittsburgh.
That's it.
And an 11-month walk from Washington State.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's like I know there's quite a few people in this chat that have been to a lot of events. Andy's one, Team Lynch, obviously. Benny's been to a couple club hunts too.
Hello, Rob.
There's actually a couple people in our chat that haven't been to events yet. That's the goal this year, is to get them to events. That's Crazy About a Mercury, Diana, and Patty D this year.
Which I absolutely love that. Crazy About a Mercury. That's a great name.
Yeah, she's in North Carolina. And hopefully this year we can get her to one. And then Patty D's in Texas. So my goal is to get her to at least Gypsy's event in November.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Gypsy's birthday bash.
The birthday bash.
Yeah. So we have Rob, New York, Florida. Rocks. Just passing by. I'm driving. Glad you're listening. I've done that many times.
Keep it between the lines. Uh-oh, Lost Boys has a question.
Do I want to share the question?
Yeah, it's actually a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so his question is, have they ever thought about doing a camping event? So we have a campground, and I think he may have stayed there. We have a campground that's generally close to most of the properties that we secure. But they I think for the last two events, their tent and their electrical hookup or their water hookup, like the sites that they offer, they were redoing that whole entire portion. So that campground has a lot of seasonal people that are there for 9 months, and then they've got year-round people, and then they've got other components of the property that they offer out with different camping styles. And we've just never been able to really catch a break or coordinate properly with them. We had one event where we asked the property owners if they would allow people to camp on the property, and for them, their attorneys, that was a no-go. So anytime we're asking, ever since then, I'm always reluctant to ask, because it's very difficult to secure properties at this level. It's something that I always have a problem with. I mean, I could have a property and think that everything's good to go, and then something comes up, and that happens often. Charlie's
I think one of your events, it wasn't too long before the event that happened.
It was less than a month. It was in 3 weeks of the event, and I was just going to say Charlie was instrumental in helping us secure another location in a very short time frame, which worked out well. But that's always the biggest, my wife and I were having this conversation yesterday. That's the biggest, for me, that's the stressor. So until I know I've got the location locked down, we stay in this general area for these fundraising events, because for the Historical Society, I sometimes get offers to go, 4 hours or 5 hours away, and there's a farm and, in upstate Pennsylvania, but, it's hard for me to coordinate from 5 hours away and set up tents and, do everything. It's not like I can drive back and forth. But yeah, I think it's a great question. It's something we can look into, and maybe we have a conversation with a couple people this year around what that might look at, and maybe not on the property where the event is, but I may know other people with properties who would be cool with, hey, if they've got self-contained units, or if they want a tent camp, yeah, they can stay here, and we could have something like that.
Yeah, that would be cool. I was just gonna say, it's kind of weird hearing you say upstate Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
When I hear upstate where I'm at, it's upstate New York.
Upstate New York, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, there may even be an opportunity to maybe have a camp out at the mill, like because we've got the drains retention pond in the back. That's pretty much a big flat area.
Cool.
We also have a somebody who's a fire jumper on our mill committee, and he's always very cautious about us like having any kind of open fire in that area. So he's always on top of that. We can work out the logistics. I'm sure we can figure something out.
Yeah. Lucky Duck said, PA is a huge state. Yeah, it is. But I'm in New Jersey, so when I hear upstate, it's usually followed up with New York.
When I say upstate, I'm talking about a friend of mine who went to prison. So
yeah, well, here that's Southern state. But yeah, no, because I live right across the bay from the city. A lot of people don't know that. So, you got New York City, and then you got upstate New York.
Two completely different animals.
Yes, and a lot of people in the city don't realize there's an entire state there. It's crazy. They say Video and I are hooking up this year, camping on site at BCDC.
I don't know what BCDC is.
I don't remember. Colonel's collecting and detecting. Thanks for coming up. Yeah, Rob.
Cool.
New York, upstate New York. Say that. There you go. Another compliment for you. Yeah, guys, if you got questions. Oh, yeah, BCDC is a Pittsburgh hunt. That's right.
Oh, no, okay. I thought you were saying there's a BCDC near me where you were, I was like, what's BCDC? Oh, no, that'll be cool. Yeah.
Colleen said she's from the Concordville,
Glen Mills
area.
Okay.
Where is BCDC? That's my area.
Yeah, Andy was talking to me about it recently. I don't remember. I think it's detecting.
I'm gonna look into that.
Drove through New York City once. Lived here my whole life. I drive through New York City more often than I'd like to say. I hate driving through, but in order to take 95 north, you got to go through Manhattan. Oh, it's terrible. I hate it.
Cool, buddy. Not far. No, Vinny said Beaver County. That's a stone's throw from me.
Yeah, I was thinking of you when Andy was messaging me, and then I didn't think to ask you about it.
Yeah,
you see where you are.
Yeah, way down here.
You just lost rank, Sergeant.
Yep.
Vinny said, definitely not the Jersey Shore. Yeah, down the shore. Yeah, guys, any more hunt questions? Like I said, Rob also organizes us all together. He does a lot of the work all by his little lonesome with a couple little people that what do you call them? Gophers, go do this for me, go do that for me. No, I'm only but he does the majority of the organizing. So even if you have any questions about a hunt in general, like general hunt questions rather than
hunt questions, sure. Yeah, I'll answer. If you want to know, I can give you a high level overview. Our agenda generally stays pretty much the same. Is that Dustin, Dutch boy?
Yep.
D'Agostino? Him and I were just chatting the other day. I'm glad he's kind of making the rounds again. It's good to see him.
Yeah. That boy's good.
Yeah, so we start off, Saturday morning, 7:30 parking, 8 o'clock registration, 8 to 9 kind of registration, buying raffle tickets, drinking coffee, talking to everybody, taking pictures, all the good stuff. Then we make some announcements, and then the natural hunt starts at 9 a.m. Right. So the key thing I always try to remind everybody about our event, there is a seated component to it on Sunday morning, but the hunt itself is a natural hunt. So there's no promises, no guarantees. It's like when you go out on the lake, you catch fish, you catch fish, right? Sometimes they're biting, sometimes they're not. But we've had a lot of success over the years. So we started in 2020. This is our 9th event. Next year will be our 10th event. Maybe we'll do something special for that to kind of celebrate. but this is our 9th event. We were doing the first year we did 1, then we were doing 2 a year, and then we're back to doing 1 for a number of reasons. But yeah, I mean, we find all kinds of stuffs. Plenty of buttons, plenty of baubles, plenty of coins. Colonial era, large cents. Reals have come up on a number of occasions. Yeah, lots of good stuff. And we've got plenty of land to cover, right? So I think I told you, Ray, that I have a little bit of an announcement, right? So property's all locked down and secure. That's the good news, right? So we have our location determined. We're talking about 80 acres of pure farmland, right? So it's going to be a nice, easy hunt, not a lot of hills. There's some water on the property from a creek that runs through the property. And, when you start doing research, when we release the address and people start looking, you'll see the perimeter of the property is kind of dotted with, some older homes that have been in the area for a long time. This location is immediately opposite the Revolutionary War Field Hospital that we were at last year. So it's not far away from where we were at last spring. So last spring we were on the north side, kind of the northeast side of the Revolutionary War Hospital. Now we're on the southwest side of the Revolutionary War Hospital. So there was a lot of Revolutionary War movement in this area. Charlie and I have talked about this location in the past. He knows that I've been trying to secure it. He was actually working with me to try and help and secure some other locations. But this is locked down now. And we're excited about this property, him and I. He's done a smaller adjacent portion of this and had a lot of success on it. So when he and I were talking about that property and how much success he had there, if any of that translates to where we're going, this could be a very fruitful event. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I gotta admit to the chat, I am a little disappointed I won't be digging at it. But that's just like a small portion. I mean, I'll be thrilled to death to see what everybody finds, and if I do wander around in the fields and see what people are digging up, or to see that if I catch somebody digging up something really cool, that'll be just as cool, like because like I said earlier, and Robert and I were talking too, like I'm the epitome of why you go to events. It's great finding those things, but it's the social part. And I do spend the majority of my time I come out swinging all hunts. Team Lynch's, but I've been on a few with them, and I spend much more time up at the tables chit-chatting and socializing than I do out in the fields.
We should get her a seat with her name on it. That's how much time she spends there.
Come say hi to me. Just come to me.
We're gonna set up a tent for her. It's just Ray's tent. Like, just sit it over there.
Well, it's exciting to see your friends that you don't get to see often, or new people that are coming into the hobby, and you get to meet them, or you've been following somebody you've been following, and they finally get a chance, and it's really cool. That for me, that's the part that's the biggest part of events for me, including club hunts. I like the seededs. I know a lot of people don't, but I do. That's how I get my giveaways for you guys. Of course, I like the seededs. Like I go get the little silvers out of the ground, and then I can give them away to everybody in the chat, but or donate, which I've done a lot of too. Like I haven't donated. You haven't done the kids hunt.
Yeah. So just a little bit of like a backstory. So we did our first event, and we just put like flyers out in the community that said, "Hey, we're doing this metal detecting fundraiser on this farm. If you're in the community and you want to learn about metal detecting, come on up." And we had Mind Lab was on site. It was the first event that the Jeep was at. So we were kind of like, hey, we're get to show off the Jeep, right? We had the Mind Lab Jeep. And Deb was there, and she had like, a whole plethora of detectors out. And we had like 2 or 3 families show up, and they wound up actually buying, I think 1 or 2 detectors from Drew maybe. And it was great, right? But we had a test garden set up, and that's where we kind of let them go. And then the following event, we said, hey, let's market this to the community and see if we can get some families to show up with their kids. And we set up a spot just for them. with prize tokens in the ground. They could go out and find the tokens, bring them inside, and then we would give them a prize. And we had like 5 kids show up. And we really weren't ready to give up on it yet. So we said, hey, we'll do this one more time. We're really going to market this. We're going to get on the moms groups on Facebook and post stuff in the library and, just really try and like flood the market and get kids to come to this thing. And we got an overwhelming response, like 5 kids to like 30 kids, which doesn't seem like a lot, but again, volunteers, we're trying to put on this big event with 100 detectors there on this farm. And now we've got this side event with kids coin hunt. That thing grew from like 30 to 70 to 100 to 125. And then it just got so big that it had to become its own event. So now we don't do it with Come Out Swinging. In the last 2 years, we've done it at Earth Day. And this year we're joint sponsoring an event in the fall called Tractors in the Park, where all the local farmers kind of bring in their tractors, and we have, all kinds of farm related stuff, but we're going to be doing the kids coin hunt at Tractors in the Park. And, last year, I think we had, now remember this, like when we used to do it at Come Out Swinging, it was pretty much an all day thing on Sunday that was set up.
Yeah.
Get like 100 kids. This past year, last spring in Earth Day, we did over 100 kids in 3 hours.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That has grown quite a bit.
Right? Yeah. And it's like significant. Like we had people like waiting in line, like when it was done, like the event was over and we got people standing there with their kids. Like, can we still do it? Like, we're not going to turn kids away. Right. They're like, yeah, we got nowhere to go. Like, yeah, let's just keep detecting, So,
yeah.
And then, people like Drew donate, just like giant bags of, coins from around the world. And the kids don't know, like, they're just as happy to find a big Asian coin as they are to find a silver dollar. To them, it's a treasure in the ground and, learning about the hobby and detecting and, the volunteers being there. That's huge. And we get constant requests. And now I'm actually doing, I sit on a board for the United Way. And one of our agencies is the Boy Scouts. So I was talking with our Boy Scouts this year, and we're going to do an event with the Boy Scouts at their like kind of regional, I guess jamboree is what they call it. I'm not a Boy Scout, so
I think so.
Like, yeah, their regional one on Hawk Mountain. So we're going to bring up a bunch of equipment and do the same thing, put a bunch of coins in the ground, and then we're all going to go out and collectively hunt Hawk Mountain, which has been in existence since like the early 1900s. So we're going to do some natural hunting in addition to kind of our targeted hunting. So we're really looking forward to that. But that all stems from doing the first Come Out Swinging and, realizing that there's this outreach that we can do in the community.
Very nice.
It's amazing how much it's grown. Because I think only the first year I donated a bunch of wheats to you.
And every wheat penny helps. Every wheat penny helps.
Well, like I think I said it even back then. Like kids today really don't even know clad. They they really don't know coins all that much. Most of what you buy your kid a little candy bar. It's almost $2 for a small candy bar. So they really don't know change. So even clad pennies and quarters and stuff are pretty fascinating to them because they really honestly don't really see them.
So we've been using the same area in Boyertown Park to do the kids coin hunt probably for 3 or 4 years now. And it's still like, this is kind of a testament to when we say, hey, the area is never hunted out. Like no matter how many times you pound it, like we go there and to this day, like we'll go back in the fall and some kid will dig a natural target out of there where we'll just be like last year, a kid dug a parasol cap. Like,
wow.
Like that's a fairly large object to be in that area. Yep. Like it came up, it was a banger, and we're like digging, and I'm like, this is too deep for one of ours. And like 8 inches down, like there's this parasol cap, and it's just like, yeah, we didn't bury that. Like that's not us. That's
I don't know what I just did. Let's see. There was another question. Now I lost it. Viddy said him and Drew, he'll be set up as a vendor, and him and I could hang out with him and Drew. And me and Robert actually talked about that earlier video. I was already planning on that. I know you guys didn't know.
Dan.
Yeah, so this will be Viddy's first year with us at the event as a vendor, right? So we're looking forward to having him there, and we appreciate his participation. He's come to the event before, but he's been a supporter a couple of times, right? He generally, donates either some equipment or some gift cards for West Shore Hobbies, which is, always very much appreciated. So appreciate the continued support, and we're glad to have him there this year as a vendor. Yeah, so Bree Tectorist. So history of the farm is the farm itself is going to be late 1700s, early 1800s. As I said, it's in a highly traveled Revolutionary War area. Can I tell you there was a camp there? No, I can't, right? But maybe through your own research or somebody else's research, we'll discover that. That's one of the things that I'm always amazed to find out, right? Like, I don't do a lot of research on the property. I'll look at historic aerials and topos and things like that to see, where we're houses. I'll do some LiDAR, to see, like, I was looking at this property and I discovered up until I think 1904, there was a road that ran through the middle of it.
Nice.
But 1906 topo, that road no longer exists. So the information that I was able to find after doing a little research says maybe that this is like, a dirt road that was used to cut through, because it's, it's like two long parallel roads. And then at each end, there's, the crossovers. So there was apparently up until 1904, there was a cut through that went through the property that's no longer there. And anybody who looks at those historical aerials will see that as well. I would suggest pulling some LiDARs if you're somebody who uses LiDAR, and, look and see where maybe some of the structures were on the property. There is a creek, on there, so there's a natural water resource there that would have drawn some attention. And yeah, so the Revolutionary War Field Hospital that I speak of, there is a famous painting of Washington overseeing troops going to that field hospital, which is actually owned by the Lutheran Church that served as the field hospital. And that is right down the road from where we are. You could almost walk to it. And you can go visit the cemetery there and see soldiers that are buried at that cemetery from the Rev War until modern day. So that's an impressive cemetery, down there if you got a little extra time when you're done detecting. But the area, if you speak to anybody who's come to the event, the area is just full of history. We never know what we're going to put you on. Last year we had a field of about 90 acres, a farm of about 90 acres, and we had a small subplot, and we weren't sure if we were going to use it or not. We thought maybe we were just going to kind of keep it for a club event. And then on Sunday, we decided we were going to open that up. And what we discovered was that was an old, probably a stagecoach site, because the number of coins and relics that were pulled out of a very small area. If you would have went down there Sunday around 11 a.m., once word got out that people were hitting targets down there, it looked like a metal detecting convention on a 1 acre lot. Like it was busy, but everybody was having a good time.
Well, that's the most important. As long as you're having a good time.
Wow.
Yeah, Valley Relic Hunters. I pulled a GW from that spot
down there. Yeah. What else? I see. Yeah, he's telling us about his GW.
Yeah. I know. That was the first one I missed.
I love how someone says I'm ready for another G-dub. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's Valley. That was the first one I missed, and I remember seeing the Facebook post. I was watching all day. I was like, man, it's like, but that's all right, because like the fall before, like right where I was swinging is where Joe said he found that $50.
Yeah, we had the first event. It was on the Lee farm, and then there was this adjacent property, and the adjacent property owner said like, oh yeah, hey, you can hunt my cornfield too. So it just gave us a couple extra acres. But the house itself was off limits. And it was a very old house built in the 1700s. And at one point, somebody came to me and said, "Hey, Rob, you need to get down there. They're detecting in that guy's backyard." So I jump in my car and I was like Starsky and Hutch across the hood, jump in my car, flying down there, windows down, yelling at people while I'm driving by, slide into this guy's gravel driveway. And I get out of the car and I'm like, "Get out of the yard, get out of the yard." And then the owner comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, what's going on?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm going to get him on." And he's like, No, I told him it's okay. And I was like, "Oh, okay." And that was a property that I was actually trying to secure permission for myself for about 2 years. And it just so happened that this guy gave it to them since we were there already. And the number of things that were found on that property, it was amazing. There was a couple of reals found, plenty of large cents, probably $50 worth of large cents.
I believe it.
There was pewter dragon heads, matching dragon heads. They were 8 or 10 inches long. They were like this long, and they were like two pieces, but they looked like they were something from hinges or something. They were just these incredible, amazing things. There's just so much good stuff found there. So we just never know, right? So
that's one thing you definitely never know. Even going to like what you're hosting an event, with a natural hunt, it's just like getting a permission. I mean, the property could look great. It could have a lot of history around it, but you don't know until you start swinging over it whether or not there's stuff there. There could be nothing. That's happened to many of us. They just didn't drop things, or it just wasn't a lot there to be found. Or you can go to someplace the most clumsiest families lived there the last 250 years, and you find everything.
They drop everything. Yes.
It's like that's probably one of the better parts, and sometimes probably frustrating parts about detecting is you don't know till you swing over it.
That's it. Yeah. I think I was 2 weeks ago, maybe on Jason's show, and he was saying "Hey, we got this spot," and it was I don't know, a 2-acre plot in between 3 old houses. And you would just think the amount of traffic that went across there would just be tons of stuff. And it was quiet, nothing. And then they got out into this giant field, and that's when they started hitting the targets or whatever. So,
yeah.
But my goal is I always want to put us just on a good property that's has some history or is in very close proximity to history. And if you look at Charlie's comment in the chat there, he says there's a lot of 1700s homes that were used as hospitals. In addition to the Lutheran church that was used as a field hospital on Swamp Pike, I want to say maybe a quarter of a mile from where we are, there is a very famous house that was a private residence field hospital on Swamp Pike there. In fact, right now that house is for sale. But yeah, there's definitely a lot. My sister lives about a half a mile away. Our home backs up to a golf course. That golf course was the site of what was called Camp Pottsgrove, which was a Revolutionary War camp. In her backyard of her house that was built in the 60s, we've dug, 30 musket balls. 15 of them were in a pile. So you just never know what you're going to stumble across.
In the chat, we have a guy that's been hanging out with a lot of channels. I don't know if you've seen him yet. His name is Lewis. His channel is Taco Detector. He's from Chile. I'm just putting what he wrote.
Doing a little translation.
Yeah, the translator, Google Translate.
He's in the process of reading the history.
Well, he wants help with writing an article for American Digger.
Oh, very cool. Yeah.
And I just haven't been able to get to it, so I'll email him after this. But I think that's what he wrote. It looks like
he's signing off. He's in a different time zone. He's like, I gotta get out of here, man.
Oh no! Good night is actually good evening.
Ah, okay. He's saying
the direct translation from Spanish to English, where they would say good evening, is hey, buenos noches. It's It is good night, but he doesn't mean goodbye.
He doesn't mean goodbye. He's saying, I got you. Very good.
Oh, he said he received an email from American Digger. He's in the process of writing a story with some photos. Thank you so much for all your support. Because he did email me if I could get a hold of American Digger.
Hey, Georgianne.
Hey, Creek Geek and Georgianne.
The Greek was out with Berks County the other day, and they found.
I know. I saw Sean's post.
Big silver for Sean.
Headed to the creek is here too. There's quite a few people came in.
He's always getting wet. Always finding Native American artifacts.
Yeah, speaking of Native American artifacts,
I think he found some that come out swinging in the spring.
Yeah, I think he did.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in the creek beds.
Well, that's why he's Creek Geek.
That's why he is the geek. Yeah, so we are trying to schedule a meet and greet on Friday night. We're just working out the logistics of it. So we did it one year at the Bears Mill, which is the mill that we recently purchased to kind of save it as a function of some of the fundraising that we've done. I just don't know that the mill's conducive, but I would ask that if you are in the area and you want to see the mill and it's not during normally scheduled times, let us know and we'll schedule a private tour for you. It is it's an older mill from the 1700s. It's got a water wheel in the basement. The water wheel doesn't drive the equipment anymore, but the equipment, a lot of it still runs. It's got a great story. We're working on a documentary.
I was going to say, that's why I wanted to come out there. I can't make treasure finding videos, but I can make documentaries.
Yeah, so we're working on a documentary right now. We've interviewed a bunch of people, some of the original owners, people who've owned it, trying to save some of their information. And then we're looking at maybe having the meet and greet at the society on Friday. Even though the society is currently under construction, there's plenty of room there in the museum area where we could set up some tables and do a meet and greet, and then we wouldn't have to worry about the environment either, if it's cold or windy or rainy or anything like that. And if we did want to put some food out, be more conducive to doing something like that. But yeah, stay tuned. We'll have more information on the Friday night meet and greet. I'm also going to post probably tomorrow or Friday. I'll have the post for some of the hotels in the area. People are looking for hotels to stay at. I'll have some of that information online. We don't work with any of the hotels. We tried doing that the one year, and then the next year the hotel changed ownership and became a different hotel chain. It was like had to start all over again. And then we'll be posting information about the sponsorships, and then we'll also be posting information about one of our events at Come Out Swinging, which is the Relic Relay. So the Relic Relay is a 5-team event. It's pretty straightforward. We've done what I call my version of detecting poker. I call it Joker poker. It was a little bit of a different spin on the traditional game. But the Relic Relay we've been doing for a number of years. I like to think that it's popular enough that it's now.
I have fun doing it.
I think we were the first to do it. Maybe we weren't. I don't know, but somebody told me we were. But the Relic Relay is 5-member team. It's a timed event. You're competing against the clock and other teams, and there's 5 targets 5 times, right? So there's a total of 25 targets in the area. It's things like a 3-ringer, a V-nickel, a silver quarter, an Indian head penny, and a tomback button. And then each member has to kind of like line up and say, I'm going to go in and find the V-nickel. And they got to go in and just find the first V-nickel, dig it. If they dig the right thing, they come out, and then the next member goes in and says, hey, I'm going to dig a quarter. The whole time the clock is running. If you dig a wrong item, you get a time penalty. If you dig multiple wrong items, you get additional time penalties. And at the end of the day, it's whoever has the fastest time finding the 5 items collectively as a team. Everybody on the team gets a Morgan or a Peace Dollar or, something along those lines. So it's a nice little prize, and it's fun. And it's come down to fractions of a second in the past.
Yeah.
Yes, it has. It's been very. Yeah, so you'll see a post that'll say, register a team, and you don't have to know the people on your team, right? If you're coming for the first time and you don't have enough people that you're coming with, or you don't know enough people, just post on there, hey, I'm looking for, a relic relay team, and people will start responding like, yeah, I need a team too, and then you'll have 2, and then you'll have 5, and then the next thing you know, you got a team, and then you just sign up. It doesn't cost anything extra to do relic relay. It's a free add-on to the event. It's not much, Viddy. You got to know your machine and your VDIs. Come on, man.
Hey, I won the Game of Tones the second year you did it.
Game of Tones is another fun one, right?
So, I got 2 right. That means all of you guys suck.
Yeah. So
I got more than 2 right. But
Game of Tones is we put 10 targets in the ground. They're numbered 1 to 10. And we give you a piece of paper numbered 1 to 10. You put your name at the top. You put your detector. If you want, you can tell us what size coil you were using. We always like to know kind of like who did well and why they did well. But basically, you go out into the Game of Tones field one at a time, and you swing over the target, and then you write down what you think it is. And whoever gets the most right wins.
Yeah, I remember when you emailed me. I was like, really? Yeah. How many did you get it right? I'm not going to tell you guys, but it's very, a lot of people don't know that.
Again, it's free. So I always tell people, you're going to get a nice prize, so why not do it? Yeah. It takes about maybe 5 or 10 minutes to go through and do it.
I think it was a Morgan dollar, wasn't it?
You got a Morgan dollar. That's usually, what we do, either a gift card, like a $25 or $35 gift card to one of our vendors, or, a Morgan dollar, something like that. Again, it's free,
And just like anytime, because I know Debbie does a version of a similar thing, but it's timed and it's like 20 targets. But you do when you do any type of thing, can you name the signal you hear? It's like testing your knowledge of your machine. Just know that it's not all coins that are in there.
That's true. I always tell people they should practice in the test garden before they go to the Game of Tones, because the test garden has flags very much like the Game of Tones, but on the test garden flags, it tells you what's in the ground. So you can swing over the target and then turn the flag around and be like, oh, that's in the penny. And that's ringing up as a 21 on my machine, like in these soil conditions. It's a good idea.
I know it. I know the ones I got wrong were any of the midtones, because I don't dig those. So I have no idea. But the first year you did it, I used my Knox, and I think I got all of them wrong.
You got them all wrong, yeah.
But when I used my AT Pro is when I won it.
Yeah, so those things go on, Saturday afternoon. So I like Sunday morning is about getting the event kicked off, or Saturday morning is about getting the event kicked off, getting everybody out in the field, detecting. And then I generally have those things kind of laid out, but I don't open them up for business until after lunch on Saturday, just to give me an opportunity to kind of get everybody settled in and get myself settled in and make sure everything's running smoothly. And then, we kind of start with those things, and then they'll run all for the remainder of the day through Sunday.
And I was going to say something. Yeah, people don't realize you don't have to do these extra little fun bits.
Nope.
Like if you want to continue on with the natural hunt, you're able to do so. It's just something like a little extra on the side. Like we all, some of us do go out 8 and 10 hours and just detect a solid day, but there's some of us, we've got to take little breaks. So, like if you're out in the field for 3-4 hours or whatever, however long you can last out there, and you come back to the table area, and now you got some little activities to do with new friends you make. Like you said, with the relic relay, you could get a team together at the event.
Yep, absolutely. Hang out at the registration tent, hold up your sign. I need a team.
Yeah, there you go. And then it's just like, just to break up everything, just add a little something like icing on the cake.
Yeah, I got arrested the other day. I was standing on the corner with a sign that says "We'll swing for coins," and like,
I'm sure you had a bunch of '70s folks wondering what kind of swing.
Yeah, that's why he got arrested.
Game of Tones is fun. The Relic Relay is fun. We also do Brass in the Grass, which is just like it's an add-on fundraiser for us.
Yeah.
Like room tags, big brass room tags in the ground. They're all numbered, and then we just ask for a donation. I can tell you, you're not going to get a prize back that's probably worth anything less than what you donated. So it's at worst a break-even proposition. At best, again, we'll say, hey, give us a $5 donation, and you may get a pair of gloves, or you may get a Riker's case, or you may get whatchamacallit, Ultimate Finds box, or you may get a set of Andre's pencils or something like that, or you may get a Morgan, or you may get a shovel, or there's.
I think the first year you did it, I got 2 Riker boxes with Civil War relics in them.
Yeah, those are those. I mean, look.
The second year I got a couple coins.
Yeah, so those are the types of things that we like to do, just to give people like, hey, I come in, I eat my lunch, or I want to relax for a little bit, but I don't really just feel like going back out in the field yet. What else can we do, right? We just want people to stay engaged and stay involved. And I saw somebody commented like they just got a new machine, so there's a little bit of a learning curve. But yeah, when you come, spend some time in the test garden, get your machine tuned into our environment for the conditions you're going to be detecting in that day. That's really why the test garden is there. Take some notes. This is what this is ringing up, and this is what you should be looking for while you're out there.
Yeah, it's like I'm a fan of events, as you already know. And like I said, if you guys are on the West, obviously on the East Coast, obviously we got some West Coast people coming. Washington State here in the chat. Hey, Patty, Dirk Claude. So yeah, if you're in the Pennsylvania area, it's a fun event. Like you was talking about, the extra little things, like little games, team building kind of games. Or testing your own merit with your machine on Game of Tones. And just, like anytime you go up to the tables, there are people, different people, except for me, it's always me, hanging out at the tables or out in the main area, the main congregation area. Because like some of us older folks like to take breaks, and it's a good time. It's probably on the top of the list of events I've attended.
Yeah, I appreciate
being a fundraiser. You can't go wrong with that. All the money helps out the Boyertown Historical Society, which is cool. And if us people that love history, and a lot of us do that detect it, it's up to us to save these things. Like what you're doing, Robert. If it's not us, who's going to? What's going to happen? It's going to be another mall. It's going to be another huge townhouse development. It's going to be a bunch of McMansions. They're consistently building on these historic properties and tearing down historic homes, or a lot of these homes from the 1700s are still standing. A lot of the homes from the 80s aren't.
Yeah, right.
We got to teach the next generations too. This is I kind of don't want kids to get into the hobby, because like they're gonna find all the stuff and I'm not. But you want the kids in the hobby because it's going to help them. First, they're finding treasure. Every little kid loves to find treasure. Every little kid loves to find something hidden. But with teaching them how to detect and how to discover these old things in the ground, you could teach them to appreciate history at the same time, and appreciate where we come from and where we're going in the future, and to help preserve a lot of these historic areas that are going to be lost to suburban growth, urban sprawl.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's it doesn't take much, when you have someone out in the field. I mean, like I find this with adults, like you go detect someone's property and you show them what you found, and they're like, what is that? Like, you're like, oh, that's a knee buckle. Like, what's a knee buckle? And then you show them a picture of what a knee buckle was and where a knee buckle went and what it was used for, or, you know, and then all of a sudden you're having a conversation, you know, about those types of things. And most people don't know pennies to be bigger than quarters, you know.
Yeah.
you say to somebody like, this is a penny, and they're like, well, that's a penny. Like, how did you carry $1 worth of those around? You didn't. If you did, you were rich.
You know? Yeah. I mean, it's a great way to teach your children about history, like you said. You know, like, you know, I'm beginning to think more of what I found when I thought I found my first shoe buckle frame. It may actually be a trifold hat frame. Pin, trifold buckle, trifold hat buckle. Let me get those words out. Because of its size, but it could also be a small shoe buckle. But I think it's more, when I was looking it up, I think it's more the trifold hat, you know, that they wore. Hey, Shane, Ohio River history.
Yeah, so I would say for anybody who is, I saw like earlier somebody asked like, hey, what types of things do you find at the events? A great way to see what we found is come into the Come Out Swinging group. Like if you're not a member, come in, you know, ask to join. Do me a favor, please. Answer the questions. It's 2 questions. What type of metal detector do you use and where do you live? Answer those questions and I can let you right in. If you don't answer the questions, I got to expect that you're some sort of a bot or some sort of Facebook terrorist. And then I got to message you to make sure you're a human being. Make my life easy. Just answer the questions and I'll let you in right away. And then you can scroll through and you'll see everybody post their pictures from previous events. Go back a year from now or a year from April, and you'll see next year's finds. And then like if you are coming and you're trying to figure out like where's information or how do I get this, always look at the thing that's pinned to the top, right? Because I'll update that. So like right now it's the QR code for registration and the agenda. And then next you'll have the relic relay teams and a hotel list. And then we'll have the food order, right? So on Saturday and Sunday, you know, it's Pennsylvania, so we order hoagies, right? So you can put your food order in for lunch on Saturday and lunch on Sunday. We have a jot form that we use. You just scan the QR code or click on the link. You go in, you say, I want an Italian hoagie. These are the sides or fixings that I want. And then, you know, you pay for it and it shows up on Saturday or Sunday or Saturday and Sunday, depending on what you want. And, you know, we just kind of tell everybody, hey, food will be here at noon. Come in and get it. It'll be on a table with your name. Actually, we don't do names. We do numbers.
Yeah.
Right. So it'll have your name on it probably because we won't have your number by then. But when you come to the event, we do everything by numbers. We do raffles, like your raffle tickets. You'll put your number on it instead of your name. You'll get a wrist bracelet with your number on it. This way we're just calling out numbers. Number 57 is the winner, right? We don't have to worry about you filling out a whole ticket with all the information. If you're not going to be there on Saturday at the end of the day for some reason, which is when we do raffles, we don't do raffles on Sunday. So Mercury, if you want, I'll bring my portable stove. We'll grind one up for you.
Well, for those of us in the Jersey, New York area,
I'm not making a submarine for anybody. I'm not bringing pop. We're having hoagie and subs.
Yeah, hoagie
and sodas. Hoagie and sodas. There are still some spots left. I will tell you right now, with a little over a month to go, we have 80 of the 100 tickets sold. We cap it at 100. It's good for our event. It's good for the people who come. It's bad for us on a couple of levels. Like we don't get a lot of manufacturer donations because we're not big enough. You know, we get some discount on some things, like we can get some things at cost, but we don't get a lot of equipment donated. And, you know, the kind of feeling is, you know, it's around 100 to 125 people with guests and juniors, and volunteers and that kind of stuff. So it's not really a big enough event for them to say like, yeah, we're going to come and set up a tent or we're going to bring the Jeep again. You know, we got lucky the first year with Mind Lab. They were looking for somewhere to showcase it and everything just kind of like the stars aligned. but that really hasn't been the case since. Our vendors like Drew and now Vidi are the ones that bring the products, bring the product knowledge. I don't know that much about Vidi's operation, but I know with Drew's operation, like if you lose a washer or you lose a bolt or you need something fixed or repaired, he's got all that stuff ready to go. And Vidi, if you want to, if it's okay, Rach, if he puts in the chat like what equipment lines he's going to be bringing, so people know. I always tell people like, hey, if you can get in touch with our vendors and pre-order, that's great for them, right? They know exactly what they're going to need to bring. If they know they've got like 2 or 3 machines pre-ordered, we know they're probably going to sell maybe 2 or 3 machines at the event, but knowing that they know what to bring to meet somebody's specific needs. Reach out to those guys in advance, and they'll be on again. They'll be at the top of that list on the pin to the top thing. Eventually, it's like West Shore Hobbies and Relic Recoverist, and what they have to offer. And if you need to get in touch with them before the event to order something, here's how you do it.
Hey,
cool beans.
Yeah, I was checking the chat now. Diana said no, down in North Carolina. It's subs. In Connecticut, it was grinders. Hi, Angel.
Hey, Angel.
There you go. Drew will be representing Mindlab Garrett, and Vidi will be XP Nokta.
Cool.
So all 4 brands.
There you go.
I gotta yell at my sister tonight and tell her there's 20 tickets left. You better get it.
I gotta see if XP will fall off of Vidi's bus. Off the back of that truck
there. Any other questions in the chat about this event or any event that Robert's able to answer on the organizing end? Pretty good crowd here tonight. I think a lot of people are ready. Drew also will have Predator tools, Riker boxes, and more. Vidi will have CKG, RTG, etc. Where is Rob's event? It's in Boyertown area of Pennsylvania, Viento.
Yeah, so the actual farm location, Boyertown and Gilbertsville are like this. It's in Gilbertsville. So it's like Boyertown, Gilbertsville, Schwenksville, Ole. Those are kind of... Oh, Valley. Dude, you're not even going to believe it. The closest Wawa, I almost don't even want to tell you. Well, I'm going to post it tomorrow anyway. The closest Wawa is within walking distance.
Wait, what? Hold on, I'm sorry. I just saw this.
Did you catch it?
It's not true.
Valhalla.
Yeah, Valhalla?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
They're saying he passed away.
That's what Angel's saying.
Yeah.
So Viento, the event is April 5th and 6th. And Bree, from a weather perspective, we've had at our April event everything from 32 and snow, with the next day being 68 and sunny and people wearing shorts. So April in PA is pretty much a crapshoot, but if everything goes as expected, I would think you would be, in the 50s and 60s, probably closer to the 60s. That's what you should expect.
Is Wawa in walking distance? What Vidi wants to know?
Yes.
Yep.
Wawa. Oh, I'm really giving it away. A Wawa, a CVS, a supermarket, a restaurant are all within walking distance. And a bank.
You had me at Wawa.
And a Philly pencil factory.
So Valhalla, Robert, I know you didn't know him.
I did not.
Yeah, he was a new channel, I guess, in the last year, Mark?
I think about a year, yeah.
Yeah, about a year. Big supporter of a lot of channels and a lot of streams. Commented on a lot of videos. Really nice guy. That's pretty sad. I've been in on a couple. He just had a live within this past week. That's sad.
Very sad.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next week.
Definitely.
Yeah, Rob, NYFL, that's correct. Bring T-shirts, shorts, and parkas.
Just bring all weather gear. Like bring your coat. Bring boots, waterproof boots. Bring flip flops. No,
I don't know.
Bring your rubber ducky because you're going to need it.
You just never know it with the weather over here on the
we have
central East Coast area.
I've legitimately had one event where it snowed on Saturday and was warm enough on Sunday that people were wearing T-shirts and shorts at the same event. There you go. Layers. Always dress in layers because you can peel them off.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like over here, PA is a little chillier when it's cold and a little warmer when it's warm.
Oh, and here's the other thing. Like in the morning, it'll be chilly in the fields. Like it always starts off, chilly, and then midday it could be in the 60s, and you're warm. So dressing in layers is definitely the way to go.
Oh yeah. I mean that time, late March, early April here in PA, New Jersey, New York area, our weather could go from freezing temperatures and some snow, and the next day it'd be like 75.
I guess everyone's figured out where we're going. It looks like Tim and Kathy know where we're going, at least.
Well, there were a few.
They have the general
I didn't
idea.
go to the last hunt, so it would be harder for me to figure it out.
They have the general idea. I mean, Gilbertsville, not a big town.
This question here.
Oh, flying with a detector. That's a great, yeah.
Yeah. Either somebody could probably answer you in this. Charlie's traveled. Heritage Relic Hunters has traveled by plane with a detector. But if you don't get an answer here, there's several Facebook groups. If you don't already belong to one or two, anything you belong to in any group, there's going to be people that have traveled with their detectors. I know people have several different ways of doing it. Some will take it apart and put it in their checked bags. Some will take like the control house and put that in the carry-on, put the detector in their bag. There's a lot of different.
I don't think the detector is as much of a problem as the shovel's a problem.
Shovel's going to be in your checked bags. If you have a small enough one.
Yes, Charlie, there is a Rev War cannon very nearby.
Another hint.
Another hint.
Wow. At this point, I don't have to have attended the last one. I'm just going to go. I think it'll be easier than finding the treasure boxes in the treasure inside. Yeah. There's treasure inside.
Charlie, do you have any hints for Bree for traveling by air with her detector? Did you check your detector, or did you overhead it?
There you go. Or get Key Kids Merlin. It comes apart in half for travel. He says shovels and shafts seem to be issues I hear about. Well, yeah, they're not gentle with your stuff in checked bags. That's for sure.
Yeah, I can understand them not wanting, especially like aluminum shafts.
But if you take it apart, I would put my shafts on either side. But Steve's detector rods too. They're not that expensive, at least for check-in.
Yes, 5 Mile Charlie does fire off the cannon. He fires it at the speeder. People are driving too fast.
Oh, at least for check-in. Yeah, you put your stuff in the check bags, you should be all right. Take your detector apart. Don't just try to squeeze it in there. Take it apart. Your shaft comes apart in two pieces, and reassemble when you get to where you're going. Oh, there you go, Metal Bree. Somebody in Oregon. If you go to the site beforehand, you suffer the comfy chair and other torturous horrors.
That's right. No Nighthawk in my sight.
Rob says he'll have spares I actually will probably have all 3 of my detectors with me, so I won't be using them, but if anybody has an issue with their machine, they need to use one, I'll have the AT Pro, the Knox 800, and the Deus 2.
Yeah, there's generally multiple people there with multiple machines. I have my 2 800s. A couple of the other club members have multiple machines, so yeah.
Have a great night, Valley. We're gonna probably be closing up shop here in another few minutes. And Mark, you got any?
Shovels. I always have extra like dig pouches and hand shovels and all that other kind of stuff too. Look, I know the people. I'm amazed. I'm fascinated and honored that people are coming to the West Coast. We've had people come from Texas in the past. People come from California, Utah. So, you know, we want to make this event as enjoyable. We don't want somebody getting on a plane and saying like, "Oh, I forgot my headphones." We'll help you. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, Rob's basically got everything you need.
Yep.
I do have extras on everything myself, including what I'm not actually using this time around. So.
And I do set up a charging station. I try to have as many USB type cables available as I can.
Hola, Taka.
Good night, Taka. This time he's saying good night. This time he's saying adios.
This time he's saying good night.
Yeah. We're gonna have him on pretty soon. He's a pretty cool guy. Like, you know, he shared pictures with us. Remember those, Mark? One picture looks like it was from a magazine.
Yep. He's a good photographer.
Yeah. Maybe 1 year, 5 Mile. If you have any more questions, put them in the chat. In the meantime, I did set a date for Vermont. If anybody wants to come up and hunt my permission up there, it'll be the weekend of May 17th.
Thank you, Charlie.
Cool.
It's not an event, but
that's all right.
I'm trying to get a group together to get on this property. It's 300 acres. The property goes back 5 generations before the woman's parents bought it that has it now, and she's 81. It was all farmland. Now it's trees, but they're young trees, last 20 years. But you can still detect in between. There's been artifacts discovered there, so you could bring sifters and dig giant holes. It's right on the peak of a mountain. It's very cool. And the house is still there, but nobody is allowed to enter it. It is falling apart. That's why I'm keeping whoever wants to go. I'm cutting it down to like 25, unless I get other detector setters instead of babysitters.
Yeah,
detector sitters. To make sure nobody goes into the home.
Did you say you had a date for this, Ray?
Huh?
Did you say you had a date for this?
Yeah, May 17th, the weekend of May 17th.
May 17th. Yeah. All right.
This should be before the weeds start coming up, because around the house the weeds could get chest high. So the bears should have been out and awake and eating, so they probably won't try to eat us. So there's been evidence of bear there, and there's been evidence that me and Dan Nelson have seen of moose and bear, but we didn't see any moose or bear. People could camp up there. There's probably enough room for, you know, maybe a dozen tents where the loggers were at, where they had the clearing for their equipment.
Right.
It's right at the peak. So behind you is all trees. In front of you is nothing but looking down into a valley and the mountains across the way. It's very cool. I'll be picking up Mark in Pittsburgh on my way up there.
I hope so.
And I real quick, Ray, in the chat, one question that came up, smoking, right? So if you are going to smoke at the location, we generally ask that you smoke in your vehicle. We've had one site where it was like not at all, but generally we kind of ask people, like, if you're going to smoke like cigarettes or cigars or pipes, to kind of do it in or at your vehicle, not while you're walking around on the property, especially if the conditions are dry, right? That could be a huge problem for us.
Yeah.
The thing I was going to address, every year Charlie's kind enough to bring me his Kubota buggy so I can drive around and drop off water. And one of the things that we do is I'll drive around with trash bins, you know, or I'll have a volunteer drive around with trash bins like all day long. And we just want to make sure that while you're out in the field, if you are digging trash, put it in your pouch. We will be around to collect it. We don't want it to be dug and left, right? So our goal is we want to leave the property better than we found it. And when property owners ask me what that means, I tell them, come at the end of the event and look at the 55-gallon drum that's, half full of soda cans and other scrap metal. Right. So, that's one of the things that we pride ourselves on. Part of the reason that we got the property this year is because the property that we had last spring, the owner of that property said they literally left the property better than they found it. They collected trash that was in my stream. They brought in, metal that was in my fields, that they couldn't have imagined. And we did a great job cleaning up after ourselves. So he advocated for us to get access to this property this year. So we want to continue that so that we can, keep those relationships with property owners.
Nice. Yeah, it's pretty, you're always going to have a turd in a group somewhere, but for the most part, people, at the natural hunts do take their stuff with them, which is exactly why I do not dig iron, especially at natural hunting. Because I don't want to have to lug it around with me.
So we have a club member who we call Iron Giant, Nathan. And
Nathan, yeah.
There's a big piece of iron to be dug. Nathan will dig it.
Yeah, I leave it right there. Me and him talked about it one time. I was like, yeah, because once you open that hole and you have that object, it is now yours.
Now you just call me, right? You'll have my cell number. You'll just call me and say, hey, I'm out in this field and I just dug a, 42 Ford rim. Come pick it up and I'll be there to get it.
Well, if it's a big iron piece, then I'll just call Nathan. I'll tell him to come get it. Did you have any questions, Mark?
No, I'm good. No, everything was answered. It was a good stream.
Yeah, good time with Rob. So,
yep.
For those of you that are interested, if you're thinking of going, I guess you better hurry up and get you a ticket. With 20 left, you said?
Got 20 left. Yep.
Well, 19 after tonight, because I'm calling my sister and say you didn't buy your ticket yet. It's a good event.
And there's always a spike. After every time we do a show, there's a spike. So
yeah.
There'll be a spike tonight.
Yep. That's why I said I'm calling her right afterwards. I sent you the QR code. Order your dang ticket. I know some of you I'll see there. You don't have to take mine and Mark's word for how great this event is. There's a couple of people that are in the chat that have been to one already and looks forward to everyone after that. Robert's doing something right if people keep coming back. And anything else you want to say, Robert? And then we'll.
No, I just want to. Yeah, I guess I'll end with thank you for all the support over the years, to all the people who have come previously. Even if you're not coming this year for some reason, thank you for coming in the past. For people who have donated to the event, thank you. For the people who are already registered, this year, we thank you for your support this year. And we've got a number of sponsors on board already. Like one of our club members started his own coffee company, so we'll be having some Rad Rooster.
Yeah, that's
Corey.
Red Rooster.
Rad Rooster. Corey Mason, Rad Coffee Company. So that's our new coffee company. Bob and Donna about 2 years ago said hey, we don't mind, being the coffee sponsor at Moondoggy, but maybe there's somebody in your community. And Corey heard that and he said, hey, could you guys teach me how to roast coffee? And now he's 2 years into roasting coffee with Bob and Donna's help, and he's our new coffee guy. And obviously, in addition to being a vendor, Viddy's also a sponsor. I think Tim and Kathy have already signed up for their sponsorship. They usually help us out.
Still have to next month.
And then I'm trying to think who else has Freebridge. Yeah, anybody know Kenny Carlstrom? I don't know. Freebridge Metal Detecting. He's a sponsor this year, right? So sometimes it's people with their own channels will sponsor. Sometimes it's equipment people. Sometimes it's vendors. A lot of people sponsor. We have everything from corporate sponsorships down to, hey, I'd like to donate a Pepperidge Farm basket, right?
Cool.
And then you just put in there, it's an item. You just click item and then you type in what it is, and then it adds it to our sponsors and donation list, and we recognize
what was it? It's corporate and then event, and then
there's corporate sponsor, event sponsor. Then there's one below that. Then there's
that used to be the one for activity sponsor. Yeah.
So if you say, hey, I want to be the sponsor of, Game of Tongues, right? We'll print you up your own sign. We'll have your logo on it.
I'll sponsor the one I sponsored the first year I sponsored something, the Brass in the Grass.
Brass in the Grass.
There you go.
The first year, that's what I sponsored, I think. Wasn't it Brass in the Grass? So.
Yes, Bree, not scattered around on the property, but the porta potties will be in one central area.
And it'll be the spring, so there should be some shrubs growing up, like alongside the field, which is too far away.
The porta potties will be fresh and clean, right? They're clean the day that they're delivered to us, and by the end of the weekend on Sunday, they're still generally very nice. We usually get one oversized one, in case anybody needs like a handicap access one for whatever reason, and then another, at least one more regular one. But great question. Thank you.
Yeah. Like I said, otherwise just treat it like you're detecting out in the field somewhere else and there's trees along the edge of the field. You're too far from the porta-john. Just make sure you bring a little, little teepee in your pocket. For us girls, anyway. Rob said you got to hold it to Sunday, Bree. All right, guys. So we're going to end this here. I put in the chat, pinned it to the top, the group page for Come Out Swinging groups. If you want to join, answer the 2 questions. You only ask 2. Answer the 2 questions and become a member of the page. So even if you can't attend the events, you'll see the stuff people find. Because if you're not following them or not friends with them on Facebook, but if you're part of this group where they'll post it, everybody who finds stuff loves to post it in the group page.
Yep.
And some people, there's a few YouTubers that make videos. You can check out the videos and stuff like that. I don't know if I'll have a video this year. I might just go around and film everybody else. And then, Crazy About Merc says she watches the videos.
Yeah, I generally try to shoot some videos of the property. So like over the course of the next week or so, I'll go out to the property. I'll do a walk around. I'll shoot some stills. I'll put together a little video just to kind of give you a preview of what the property looks like. In the past, I've coordinated with some, what are they called? Drone pilots. Shoot some overhead so you can get a look at all that. But I don't know if I'll be able to do that necessarily this year. If I can, I will, but I will get some pictures up of the property before the event.
Yeah. And speaking of drones, I bought a cheap one off of Temu and promptly sent it swimming in the pool one too many times. So I guess unless I get that DJI drone that you could, program to follow you, I don't think I'll be droning. But so we'll be back here next week, y'all. Check out the Facebook group, even if you can't attend the event. Join the group page. There's lots of great people there. You can follow along with the event as people are finding stuff to post pictures and things like that. And plus, it's another film group to belong to. There's a lot of great people in it, and we're looking forward to meeting you too, Bree.
Yeah,
and I guess that's about it. So I'm going to send you back, and then Mark and I say bye, and we can hang out for a second and say bye to each other afterwards. Sound good?
Thank you both for having me. Thank you, everybody in the chat, and look forward to seeing as many of you who can make it as possible. Thanks again for all the support.
All right. See you in a minute. All right, guys. So we'll be back next week. Also, Lewis, Talca and I were conversing back and forth a little bit. We're going to have him on soon. Cape Cod magnet fishing. His wife said she would love to come on and be a translator. So Mark's going to write a list of questions to ask Lewis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So thank you all for joining in tonight. Appreciate it. And for those of you watching later, thanks for watching. And hope you gained a lot of information. Very few tickets left. So if you're on the fence about going, I would go get a ticket.
Only 20.
And Charlie just said George Washington regrouped in this area and was able to continue the fight. So we'll see you same mark time, same rate channel.
There we go.
Peace, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.